Hang on, Mr. Douglas. Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to our exploration of Ingo Swann's Secrets of Power Volume 1. Today is a day for Chapter 4 and 2 excerpts from this particular chapter. Some beautiful bits of information are here for you, and we shall get right to them. Let us spare no more time. A pleasure to have you here with me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're finding within yourself that voice that you can listen to, that is repeating the truth to you that you have this power within you. And case in point, the first of our 2 excerpts from Chapter 4, Ingo breaks down the simple, potent, powerful fact that our species, our human species as a whole, more than intelligence, much more than creativity, judging by our current pump out of mainstream media, more than all that, our species drips with power. You'll hear me say that a lot because I love that saying. The human species drips with power. We're overflowing with it. Society has to do all this extra stuff to try and suppress the power, literally dripping from humanity as a whole, and from you in particular. All right, I'll stop. Here we go. First of 2 from Chapter 4 of Ingo Swann's Secrets of Power, Volume 1. In any event, even though power and intelligence do have various kinds of relationships, they are not the same thing. It can always be seen that manifestations of power constitute a more central situation to our species than intelligence does. It can also be discovered that power only tolerates intelligence to the degree that the latter is not troublesome to it. We, of course, need to think of our species as having intelligence, and probably as having creativity too. But at our species level, and immediately superior, as it were, to intelligence and creativity, is the consideration of man who has and can make power, and knows it. As it really is, then, our species literally drips with power, far more than it drips with intelligence or even creativity. Right? I mean, come on. Now, nobody is perfect. I say that because I'm about to reference Jordan Peterson, who makes a similar statement. He says that creativity is actually quite small in terms of percentage points when it comes to the overall human species. But you know what isn't small? You know what's all over the place? Power. We've all got it. We've all got it overflowing. And I don't know if I have it as an excerpt or not, but Ingo makes a point later on in the book about how the discontent, the frustration that so many of us feel, I would argue at an increasing level these days, is that power dripping from us and not knowing where to go, not having a place to be put into action. But never ever think that you are powerless, really. There is certainly a presentation of powerless in our society. There is certainly quite a bit of information out there lending itself for us to take on into our own frames of mind, which are not inborn, but are again formatted so that we may consider ourselves powerless compared to those that are presented to us as powerful. Forget that, everybody has power within them. More than intelligence, more than creativity, way more than creativity. Power. Power is everywhere within you, waiting to be unfolded, cultivated, supported, released. Not in any kind of violent, haphazard, emotional way, though that is a way for power to express itself in humans. No, we have the opportunity now. One of the slim gifts that technology provides us is exposure to the myriad ways in which our power can be expressed. How can you have the words to express something when you've never been presented the words in which to define what it is that you need to express. Well, today of all days and continuing on, we've got so many outlets and avenues in which to explore and expand our horizons to find that very particular unique expression of power that is you, that is bound to happen now that you are here. All right, that was Excerpt 1. Let's hit up Excerpt 2. It is really quite fair to consider that if developing the elements of structured socialization is actually a species thing, then the developing of power structures is also a species thing. Indeed, where a social structure comes into existence, a power structure becomes formatted within it. Thus, if it is possible to consider where power basically comes from, one will eventually have to conclude that it consists of important and strong elements within the human species as a whole, or within the general profile of the human species taken all together. Those important and strong elements download into each individual of the species, after which, 1, the individuals express them if they can, and 2, also collectively design and set up power structures that can come to house large societies and even vast civilizations. This second excerpt does reassert the idea that power is a species-wide prerequisite. It's already here, it's already in us all. We can look throughout history, we can see in our own experiences that humans come together and we create social structures, right? Well, within those social structures, there are power structures that are automatically built in them. Automatically. And as a personal story, let us reference my sleepaway camp at Oswego University. There were 2 kind of groups that formed within this time. In one group was myself and about maybe a little less than half of the people that were taking this summer camp course. We all were very passionate about the craft and dedicated to taking classes as seriously as we could and taking each other as seriously as we could, which, drama. Then you had the slight majority, which, of course, according to me and my crew, were the outcasts, not in any kind of negative way, just in a way in that they presented themselves as more interested in the, hey, it's summer camp, let's have a good time, be social, let's break the rules, whatever class, maybe I'll show up, maybe I won't. The lessons, the dedication, the passion, the commitment to why I assumed I and everybody else was there for was secondary to them, and the social aspect of having a good time, making friends, summertime, bug juice style was more primary in their mind. But there were these 2 kind of subclasses that happened within this camp, and at times it was kind of nasty between the 2. The slight majority called us all sheep because we would follow class schedules and lean into what class was teaching us. We would memorize our monologues. We would follow along in stage combat and learn our stage combat choreography to the best of our ability. It was such a wonderful time. But that did happen, and those social structures bubbled up all on their own. Yes, they were based on those kind of prerequisite mindsets. And within those social structures, you had ringleaders that kind of came about. With the slight majority, the majority's ringleader named Muriel, who was a wonderful person. You had a ringleader who would chant, "Bah!" and call us all sheep, and the individuals that would rally around her would then do the same, which is very funny because it is a kind of representation of what sheep do. Conversely, you had myself, my very good friend Philip, and Willow, Kathy, the girl who I ended up enjoying some intimate time with, and her friends. We all rallied around class and kicking ass and doing the best we could. At the end of the day, I remember after exhausting ourselves, Kathy and I would lay down on the shore of the lake at Oswego University and stare up at the Big Dipper and congratulate each other on a job well done, on a job well committed to what it is we were there for, which was learning about the craft and learning about each other. It was a good time. But look, automatically, we do this stuff. And I love the point that Ingo makes, right? At the end of this second excerpt, he says, two things happen when these powers within us begin to express themselves. Individuals begin to express themselves at the best of their ability, begin to, and I am paraphrasing obviously, but individuate, shape themselves, be the best they can be their best selves. And then two, that all feeds into creating amazing civilizations, vast civilizations that flourish and thrive, if our individual expressions of power are able to express. Today, of course, we live in a twisted and warped version of how optimal society can be, and so that individual expression seems to be hampered to a significant degree. That's okay. We got to take advantage of the opportunities we have before us, like this, right here, right now. You, me, chilling, discussing, and awakening to these foundational facts that have been so aggressively pushed aside by modern society for the sake of the continuation of the setup that modern society has set up. Pulling back from judgment, it is what it is. We are here now, and we are here to empower ourselves and each other. And I am so happy you're here. Do check out ingoswann.com if you are interested, ingoswann.com. It's a very cool website and will bring even more elucidation on the man and his masterworks. And when the time comes, and it is coming soon, why, it may already be here by the time you're listening, have me in your ear and take this journey with me. Let's take it together and gather those frames of mind to empower our inside so that we may empower our outside for better days, better lives, and a better world together. By listening to the audio version of Secrets of Power, Volume 1 by Ingo Swann. To your empowerment, more and more. Thanks for hanging. I'll catch you on the next one.